guys, and happy Friday the 13th. Yes, we are so excited for Friday the 13th because it means we can talk about Friday the 13th. Jason Voorhees, he's had a long and complicated history. With so many things being added to the lore, timeline, etc., it's kind of hard to keep track. However, there is one particular note that has been a fascinating point of conversation for some people. In the ninth film, Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday, we get ourselves an occult book that's officially the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead franchise. Now, I think legally they were not allowed to actually say it was a Necronomicon in the film, but come on, it is. It is. In fact, the director of the film even goes as far as say, yes, he's he basically confirmed from his point of view that Jason Voorhees is a Deadite. But is that true? Well, let's go back to the first Friday the 13th film that was, for sure, officially at that point, had a supernatural element to it. Part 6, Jason Lives. In that film, as Tommy Jarvis is stabbing the already dead body with a metal spike or whatever, lightning strikes, hits the rod, jumpstarts Jason's body, and he's up. And in that film, Tommy Jarvis goes and checks out occult books to find a way to actually defeat Jason for good. Now, in part 7, a little indirect supernatural element. The main final girl of part 7, New Blood, is a psychic girl, a Carrie knockoff, and she accidentally uses her psychic powers to bring Jason Voorhees back to life while also using them to help take him down once again. I don't remember anything supernatural bringing Jason to life in part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. And I don't really think the whole toxic waste thing at the end of the film counts as him being taken out by supernatural means. However, there is a particular line from the movie that's a little familiar to me. One of the, deckhands of the ship that most of the movie takes place on, different topic, he says that Jason's back and he's come back for them because they're the last kids. They're the last ones, he says. That's a weird thing to say. First of all, because really, these are the very last teenagers in all of Crystal Lake. Really? Second, it reminds me of a very similar line from Elm Street Part 3 Dream Warriors, where it's basically surmised that Freddy's back because these are the last kids from Elm Street. And we all knew that, at this point, we all know that for the 7th film, the makers wanted Jason to go up against Freddy Krueger, but they couldn't do that. So that line could be sort of like a subtle nod in the 8th film to the Elm Street franchise. So, really, in those last few films, they have established that Jason, at the very least, does exist in a world that has supernatural elements at play. He's officially part of the Freddy Krueger movie universe, and thanks to a comic book, he, Freddy, and Ash Ketchum do exist all in the same universe. So in comic book form, at least, they all do. But as far as the film universe goes, is Jason actually a Deadite that was brought out by the Necronomicon? Looking at the films, I'm going to have to say not exactly. The ninth film basically confirms that Pamela Voorhees used the Necronomicon to bring her dead son back to life. Or at least tried to. Now, Does that mean Jason himself is actually a Deadite? Because while there are certainly spells in the book that summon Deadites, it's a book about evil, darkness, the dead, and undead. There's gonna be a variety of spells dealing with a whole bunch of stuff, not all necessarily directly related to Deadites. So, while I do believe that the Necronomicon was used to bring the soul of Jason Voorhees and back to Earth in a mortal body, and just basically how gave him his super powerful human traits in the first place, I wouldn't say Jason himself is actually a Deadite, but he was used by the Necronomicon and given some Deadite-like abilities later on. So, no, not Deadite, but he was brought about using Necronomicon. That's where I stand. So that's all I really have to say about that. Just a little special Friday the 13th episode. So like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys next time.